Hello, everyone. My name is Kiana Dev, and welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we talk about all things faith and how to uplift and motivate ourselves and become the best versions of ourselves through Christ. Today's topic is going to be to stop seeking validation from the world and to start seeking validation through God. And I broke down 4 steps on how to do this. This topic is very important to me because it's something I've struggled with in the past, and it's something pretty much everyone in my life has struggled with, especially in today's society with social media and to have to feel the need to keep up with the world's standards and what it expects of you. So, with that being said, the first step is to stop giving people so much of your power. The minute you seek validation from people and from the world and from social media, you are giving them so much power over your life, and it's taking away your energy because you are relying on the compliments that they may or may not give you, which is also inconsistent, and you're relying on them to keep your confidence up. And with that, that dictates your own emotions and your own feelings. And that ultimately controls how you feel in the moment and equates to controlling your life. And that is why you are giving people so much power whenever you are seeking validation through them and through the world versus God. God is the only one who should have any power over you. Also, whenever you decide that you allow people to have that much power over you, is the decision of not walking in your purpose with God. There is so much power that God has already given you, and that through him you can do all things, and you won't have to constantly give out your power to other people. You can go straight to God. So, number two, how you can start taking steps to stop seeking validation from people is to practice discipline. This one is very, very powerful, and it has truly changed my life. When you're not disciplined, you don't feel your best. And when you don't feel your best, you don't feel confident. And then you go to the world to give you confidence. The Bible teaches that discipline is essential for training and for spiritual growth and is a path to wisdom, which provides righteousness, peace, and self-control. So discipline basically builds up your confidence, and not just what you eat and taking care of yourself physically, but discipline with God. Because the more time you spend with God, the more you'll get to know him and the more you will seek his validation versus the world. If that makes sense. If you're spending all of your time in the world and with worldly things, and when I say in the world, I mean of relying on social media and friends and your peers versus relying on God, you, like I said earlier, are giving away so much of your power. So whenever you practice your discipline, it builds up this confidence and you become a different person. You become a person that you automatically have that confidence because God has instilled that in you. And the Bible does teach discipline, and it says that we need to have self-control, and because this allows us to be the best version of ourself by discipline. I know whenever I'm not doing my routine and I'm not being disciplined with my eating and I'm not being disciplined with what I'm watching, I don't feel my best. And when we typically don't feel our best, that's when we start going to friends and we start going to social media and we start posting because we want them to allow us to feel our best. We should not ever be in an area where we have to go to them to feel that. We should be in a space where we can ultimately just go to God because he will always give that to us. And one thing about human beings is that we are inconsistent. We're inconsistent in general because we're not perfect, but God is always consistent. Always, always, always consistent in his word and his love for you and what he has for your life and the purpose he has put on your life. So you have to go to God first and you have to understand the significance in that. And that has truly changed my life because the minute you decide that you give it all to God and you give it all to Jesus and not people, you're free. Then you can post whatever you want to post without being scared like, "Oh, am I going to even get a like? Am I going to get a comment? Is anyone going to actually like what I post?" And that's ultimately why I'm speaking to you today. It has freed me that regardless, however this video does, if no one sees it, I am stepping in my purpose because God has given me that validation, not people. And that's a very powerful thing to learn and understand. Number 3. Number 3 is very, very important. Stop judging others. This is extremely important and it has changed my life. It is something I've implemented in my life for the past probably 3 or 4 years. And it's something that's going to feel strange at first, not necessarily because you're sitting around judging people all day, but because if you're not aware of the people you surround yourself with and you actually stop and observe what they say about other people and about things in other people's life, you will be surprised about how much judgment comes out and fills the room and fills the energy. So I wrote this down. The minute you judge others, you judge yourself. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, I want you to look at the world as a mirror. When you look at the world as a mirror and you place judgment on someone else, it's reflecting back how you feel internally about your own self, and you're projecting that onto somebody else because of whatever you're feeling inside. And so that's why it's very important to not judge others. We live in a world where, especially with the celebrity culture and just pop culture in general, it's just the norm to just say whatever kind of comes out of your mouth. But you have to understand, you may think that it's funny or that it's only affecting that person, but it really does end up affecting your inner world. And your inner world does reflect your outer world. Your inner beauty does reflect your outer beauty, and that is very, very important to note and to understand. And so how you can practice not judging others, and this may seem like a little silly or like, well, I'll just stop. What you can do is just be aware. And how to be aware is to really think and be conscious and present before you speak. Especially if you're someone who was used to just kind of saying anything that comes to mind, or if you're kind of the funny one and you just naturally say things like that, it's very important to be aware of the conversation you're having and to be aware what is going to be coming out of your mouth. And so this brings me to number 4, to focus on your inner beauty, because that will ultimately reflect your outer beauty and will bring you the confidence needed to not go seek from other people. And when you focus on your inner beauty, what that means is to focus not only on your health, which is very, very important, but to focus on your connection with God, which then equates to your mental health, which then equates to your physical health. So focus on what's going on the inside, right? Fill your mind up with scriptures, with the word of God, with positive content, with things that make you feel good. Don't just fill your mind up with mindless content, things that don't make you feel good. Like you notice after you're done watching, you're like, I don't feel like doing anything. I'm not even in a good mood now because I just ruined my mood. Stop consuming that. That all contributes to your inner beauty, whether you realize it or not, because your subconscious mind is taking in all of that. And every single thing, every single thing that you do take in, food, what you drink, what you read, what you watch, all of that equates and reflects on the outside, whether you realize that or not. And that's why I put a big emphasis on spending time with Jesus and spending time with God, because that also reflects on the outside. And you get to know Jesus more and you get to rely on him more. You can rely on him always, but you feel confident in relying on him now. And you feel confident in seeking his validation whenever you need it because it's always there. You never have to to go to external sources. Those were my 4 steps on how to stop seeking validation from the world and how to start seeking validation from God. It is truly life changing, and I highly recommend that you do it, especially going into the 2026 year. It will change how you walk in life, how you talk in life, how you show up in life, and you can be an example for anyone else watching, and which I hope I'm doing that today to you who's watching. So, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys next time, and Happy New Year. Bye.